As Ikenna faces mysterious losses, haunting nightmares, and a pervasive sense of despair, he learns from his mother that the negativity stems from jealous witches targeting his success. This revelation ignites a fire within him. He realizes that the darkness is not just his struggle but a threat to the entire village. Determined to confront this evil, Ikenna turns to the village elders for guidance. Ikenna was not just a businessman, he was very successful, living a life full of luxury in the busy city. From the moment he woke up in his tall apartment that looked over the city, to the meetings he had in fancy restaurants, his life was all about wealth. But even though he had many things, he felt a deep emptiness inside him, a desire for something more meaningful and deeper than just money. This year, Ikenna decided to go back to his ancestral village. He wanted to visit his elderly parents and reconnect with his roots, hoping to find love among his people in the village. As he drove into the village, memories rushed back to him of laughter, playing children, and joyful family gatherings. However, when Ikenna arrived, he quickly noticed that many villagers were staring and whispering about him. They were surprised to see such a wealthy man come to their humble community in a flashy car. Ikenna brought gifts for his family and the villagers to show his goodwill and generosity. While many were excited by his arrival, a dark shadow was lurking in the background. A group of witches living on the outskirts of the village watched him with jealousy and bitterness. They were unhappy that someone from the city thought they could come back and take over their village with wealth, and they began plotting against him. The witches, known for their dark powers, were not ordinary people. They had secrets and knowledge that dated back many generations, and they could use their skills to harm others. As Ikenna settled into the village and enjoyed the company of his family, the witches met under the cover of night. "This man thinks he can come here and show off his wealth while we struggle," one of the witches said angrily. "We cannot let this happen. We need to remind him that he is not welcome." With a few words and a wave of their hands, they began to cast spells aimed at causing problems for Ikenna. They were ready to make his life difficult and show him that they had the power to harm him. As the days went by, Ikenna began to feel the effect of their jealousy. At first, he lost some things, thinking he simply misplaced them. But soon, things got worse. Strange and scary dreams haunted him every night. He felt tired and weak, as if something was draining his energy. He struggled to enjoy the happy moments with his family as he battled these unseen forces. Every morning, he woke up feeling more exhausted, wondering why he was going through this. Desperate for answers, he recalled the stories his mother had told him about the dark magic that sometimes lurked in the village. He knew that he had to find a solution to his problems, and perhaps the village elders could help him understand what was happening. As days turned into weeks, Ikenna's life began to feel more and more heavy. He couldn't concentrate, and he constantly felt a weird pressure on his chest, making it hard to breathe. Conversations with his family felt distant, and the laughter around him faded, replaced by uncertainty. During village meetings, he felt like an outsider, unable to join in the joy that once filled his heart. His dreams became darker, filled with ominous figures and whispering voices, leaving him scared and confused. It felt like a nightmare that wouldn't end. Seeking answers, Ikenna decided to confide in his mother about the strange feelings and experiences he was going through. He hoped she could help him understand what was happening. "I feel something terrible around me, Mama," he said, his voice trembling. His mother listened attentively, a look of concern on her face. "Sometimes, when a person becomes wealthy or successful, they can attract negative energy," she explained gently. "You must be careful. Seek the wisdom of our village elders. They will know what to do." With a heavy heart, Ikenna knew he had to face this darkness head-on. He needed guidance, not just from his mother but also from the elders who had seen many things in their lives. He could see that his struggles were connected to something bigger, and now he had to find the strength to confront the challenges ahead. Determined to make a difference in the village, Ikenna focused on understanding the villagers' problems. He spent time listening to their stories and learning about their struggles. Many families face difficulties every day, from broken roads to unreliable electricity. The community had needed help for a long time, and Ikenna felt a sense of urgency to bring change. He realized that making a difference wouldn't just help the villagers, it could also protect him from the negative spirits that were causing him pain. He believed that if he helped improve the village, perhaps he could find peace for himself and his family as well. Ikenna gathered the villagers for a meeting. "Let's work together to build a better life for our community," he said passionately. Many villagers looked at him with doubt, but his determination was inspiring. Ikenna shared his ideas about providing clean drinking water, repairing the roads, and improving electricity for everyone. The villagers began to see him not just as a wealthy outsider, but as someone who cared about their lives. His plans sparked hope in their hearts. They realized that together, they could lift themselves from hardship. Ikenna's commitment to the village wasn't just about wealth, it was about building relationships and empowering those around him. He understood that working together as a community could create a foundation of unity that would ward off the shadows threatening to consume him. With his ideas taking root, Ikenna wasted no time putting them into action. He quickly organized the drilling of new boreholes, bringing clean water to the village for the first time. Joy filled the air as children cheered and rushed to collect the fresh water. Families felt a renewed sense of hope. Ikenna then began working on repairing the roads, involving locals in the process so they could take pride in the improvements. The village started to change before their eyes. As they repaired homes and created a sense of community, Ikenna felt lighter. The darkness that had surrounded him began to lift. With each filled pothole and restored path, he sensed that he was not just serving the villagers but also reclaiming joy for himself. The changes in the village led to a burst of life that hadn't been seen in years. With better electricity, homes lit up each evening, allowing people to come together for celebrations and gatherings. The loneliness that had overshadowed the community faded as laughter and joy returned. Gradually, Ikenna transformed from a wealthy man to a beloved member of the village. Even the witches, seeing how happily the villagers embraced the changes, felt their dark influence shrinking. Rather than plots of envy, they were beginning to reflect on their actions, realizing that supporting the community might bring them peace instead. As Ikenna's good deeds brought forth light and love, the village transitioned from a place of fear to one of strength and unity. The bonds began to tighten, and the villagers sensed they were part of something significant. As Ikenna continued to work in the village, he found himself falling in love with a kind woman named Ife. Known for her generosity and bright smile, Ife embodied the spirit of the village. She was always ready to help others, and her warmth drew Ikenna closer to her. Together, they worked side by side, organizing community events, helping families, and creating a fun atmosphere. Their partnership blossomed as they shared dreams for the village's future. Ife inspired Ikenna to think about not just projects and plans, but how to create lasting connections that would benefit everyone. It felt amazing to him, seeing their ambitions intermingled. He understood that love and community were deeply intertwined, and the partnership they nurtured could bring even more joy to their lives. Within their growing relationship, however, there was still a lingering unease. The witches observed their connection, feeling a mix of jealousy and curiosity over Ikenna and Ife's love. The villagers were happier than ever, and love enveloped them, generating a sense of peace where darkness once lived. The witches felt something change in their hearts as they witnessed the difference Ikenna was making. They began to question their intentions and considered whether they could choose a new path as protectors of this happiness rather than destroyers. Perhaps there was a place in this story for them to learn from the love that bloomed if they dropped their old grudges and embraced the hope that Ikenna and Ife radiated. Finally, the day of Ife and Ikenna's wedding arrived, and the village rejoiced. The celebration was filled with colors, music, and laughter, as people gathered to share in their happiness. Flowers decorated the venue, and the sound of drums filled the air as families came together. Ikenna watched Ife walk down the aisle, her beauty shining brightly, and felt truly blessed. In this moment, he realized how far he had come, no longer just the wealthy outsider but part of a loving community. The witches, who had plotted against him, now stood silently, witnessing the joy surrounding the marriage. They felt a change within themselves, and in witnessing the love and commitment, they began to reflect on their past actions. Instead of continuing their jealousy, they made a choice. They would support Ife and Ikenna and participate in the unity they had created. As the couple danced and celebrated surrounded by friends and family, they felt immense gratitude for the life they had built together. They knew that they would not only live in the city but also return to the village often, nurturing the roots they had planted together. They learned to appreciate the bonds they had formed and were excited to create a future filled with love and purpose. The village thrived as the elders provided wisdom, and the community worked together. Through their shared stories, laughter, and hard work, the villagers saw that true congratulations could only come from one another, reminding them all of the importance of connection and love in their lives. Life was richer now, for Ikenna realized that true wealth is built not just from material things but from the friendships, connections, and love we build with those around us. Years passed, but Ikenna and Ife remained closely tied to the village that had helped shape their love story. They worked hard to ensure that the improvements they made together continued, bringing education and knowledge to the next generation. Ikenna frequently returned to the village, welcomed by smiling faces and open arms, his home now a source of pride and joy. The village, once a place of struggle, was now alive with laughter and community spirit. The villagers understood their strength and carried forward the legacy of cooperation and support that Ikenna had encouraged. The witches, who had once caused trouble, transformed into protectors of the village, participating in celebrations and ensuring that good energy remained present. They realized that their past actions did not need to define them, they could play a positive role in the community they had once sought to torment. As Ikenna and Ife built their life together, they continually visited the village, knowing that their roots were intertwined with the love and history they found there. Their journey showed them that true wealth was about much more than money, it was about shared experiences, relationships, and the happiness they brought to others. The light of love illuminated the village, making it a sanctuary not just for its physical needs but also for emotional connections. The villagers remembered the story of Ikenna, sharing it across generations as a tale of resilience and hope. Love filled the village, carrying forward the lessons learned through shared struggles and successes. Ikenna and Ife had created a legacy filled with purpose and a reminder that real wealth is found in love, connection, and community. What do you think about this story? Please leave your thoughts in the comment section. For more interesting, captivating and engaging stories, don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe.